Thank you, Ma'am Riza. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dena Galenzoga. So, this is just a continuation of Ma'am Riza's discussion about basic dashboarding using Excel. So, I will be discussing to you about pivot table. So, before that, I have here an example of a dashboard where you can see chart, graphs, and table. So, later on, we will be learning on how to do it step by step. So I also have here a more complex dashboard of a business company. So as you can see, there's a lot of data uh, put together into one page or one view only. So this is the beauty of or the power of the pivot table. Okay, so what is pivot table? So it is an interactive way to summarize large amount of data quickly. So if there is a need to show calculation, summarization, and analysis of data, so pivot table is a powerful and helpful tool for that. So because it also helps or let us compare or let us see comparison patterns and trends on our data. So everything is in one viewing only. So naanagit ito tanan. So so let's have the steps in creating dashboard using pivot table. So let's go directly to Excel. So um, wait, uh, wait lang na wala pa siya nag-respond. Okay, so I already have here data that we'll be using and then dashboard. So na nakoy gihimo nga it's just a simple heading or kanang a name of the company, J&J Performance Dashboard. So we will be doing performance dashboard. So with the use of data, so the data is already in a tabular form. So to make a pivot table, we have to insert first table. So himuon sa ni nato siyang table form or table format. Okay, so click insert and then select table. Okay, make sure nga naka-check ning my table has headers. Of course, na naman tay headers. So we'll just click OK. And then, okay, it automatically select jud sa tanan data. So, ingana na siya. And then, let us insert now the pivot table. So, just click anywhere on the table or any cell, then click Insert, select Pivot Table. Okay, here you will be asked about the table range. So, pasagdi lang na siya. We will just select this one, table 1, and then new worksheet. Sheet. So, click OK. Okay, so we have now pivot table. And then we also have here pivot table fields. Okay, ato na siyang gamitin later on. So we will be needing 3 sheets here for our charts. So we will have 3 charts. So we will just copy sheet 1. So we can right click and move our copy, then select sheet 1, then create a copy, and then OK. Or you can just press Control or CTRL, then drag this to the right, okay, to make a copy. Okay, so that's it. And then we're ready to have the first chart or the first pivot table. Okay, so we are going to rename this one to profit by country and cookie. So profit by country and cookie. Okay. So since we will be illustrating the profit by country and cookie, so we will need to have this country, product, and the profit. So let's drag down the country to rows here. Okay, you can now see the 5 countries from India to United States. And then we will drag down the cookie or the product. Let's drag this down to columns, and then you can see the different products there, and then the profit to values. Okay, now you can see uh, so these are money man, so we will be adding $sign. Okay, we can just remove decimals. Okay, para dili siya kaayo kuan samok, no? So ato na siyang i-remove. Okay, so before we will be inserting pivot table or chart, we will arrange this first to, let's assort from largest to smallest. So just right click, select sort, and then sort largest to smallest. Okay, there you can see the highest profit. The United Kingdom has the highest profit for this one, and the least, or the Philippines has the least profit. Okay, so let's also have to get the most number of the profit of products. So right click and then sort from largest to smallest. Okay, there you can see which product has the most profit, and then which country has the most and the least profit. Okay, so we are now ready to have the chart. So just click anywhere on this table, and then from the pivot table tools, click analyze. Right, wait. Okay, so click analyze, and then select pivot chart. Okay, you have different options here. So we'll be using the column and then stacked column. So click OK, and there you go, your first chart. Okay, so we can add title for this chart. So to have a title, to add a title, let's click design from the pivot chart tools, and then add chart element, chart title, then select the above chart. Okay, so we'll have now to put the title as profit by country and cookie type. Okay, There you go. So if you're going to click this, you will have this filters here. So, okay na siya, pero pwede na to siya i-hide. So, we'll just hide this para libre siya kitaon. Mauna lang siya ang mahabilin. So, we'll just copy this chart and then paste this on our dashboard. So, here you go, our first chart for our dashboard. Okay, you can place this anywhere. Depende sa imuhang gusto nga design or layout. So you can resize this one. Pwede po siya if you want it bigger size, or if you want it in bigger size, pwede. Okay, so now let's have our second chart. Okay, let's rename our second sheet as unit sold per month. Okay, so since we will be illustrating units sold per month, so let's drag down month first. Date, we have the date here. Wait. We have to drag down the date to rows here. You can see from January to December, and then click the unit sold, two values. Okay, there you go. So since money siya, so we will insert a dollar sign, and then we can remove the decimals. Okay, so let's insert now the pivot table or chart. So from the pivot table tools, click analyze, then pivot chart. Okay, we will be using now line chart. Okay, so I will be choosing this one. So click OK, and then there you have. Okay, just like what you have done in the previous, or what we have done in the previous chart, we will put a title. So unit sold per month. Okay, so let's just remove this one as what we have done from our previous chart. Again, we can hide all field buttons on chart. Okay, para in-ani na lang siyang makita. So, again, next, we have to copy this chart and then paste this on our dashboard. Okay, you can place there, and you can place this anywhere sa imong chart, depende sa imong layout. You can resize this one. Okay, so let's have now our third chart. Okay, so let us rename this chart to profit by month. Okay, so since we will be illustrating the profit by month, so let's drag down date first from 2 rows, and then let's drag the profit to value. Okay, profit to values. Okay, again, we will insert dollar sign and then remove decimals. So click the table and then click analyze, click the pivot chart, and then we'll be using line chart again, and then the same. the same type of line chart. We'll have this. Okay, so title is profit by month. So we can remove this one and then hide this. Okay, copy and then paste this in our chart. I mean in our dashboard. So we can resize this. Okay. So we're almost done with our dashboard, but we will, to make this interactive, so okay, interactive man siyang pivot table, so we will be inserting timeline. Okay, timeline and slicer. So slicer, I mean. So in order for the timeline to be inserted on our dashboard, so click analyze in our pivot chart tools and then insert timeline. So we'll have first timeline. So let's just check date and then click OK. There you go. You can see all periods, all months of year 2020. So I will just place this timeline here. Pwede po na ako siya ibanan. Okay. Para ma-fit siya dire. Or I can just okay, so then we have already the timeline. Then let's insert the slicer. Okay, from the previous chart tools, click analyze and then insert slicer. Okay, we will check country and product. Okay, let's have these two. Okay, we have these two slicers, the country and the product. Okay, obviously these are countries. So pwede na natin siya tanggalon ang country nga heading or title. So we can actually remove this. Okay, mag right click lang ta and then report connections. I'm sorry. Right click lang ta and then click select slicer settings. Okay, and then uncheck the display header and then click OK. Okay, so wala naman siya, pwede na natin i-resize, i-crop na natin siya, and then maghihapon na itong buhaton sa product. We can remove this one, just right click and then select slicer settings and then uncheck the display header, click OK, and then grab these two slicers and we are ready to place these two slicers here. Okay, so pwede ra na nato siya ibutang diri. Okay. So you can actually resize this or anything as you wish. Okay, so here. Okay, so yan. Nanatay dashboard. Okay, so this is actually my first time making dashboard. So our data actually comes from or was actually taken from YouTube. So the YouTube blogger provided the data, and then it's free to use, so we just use this one. Okay, first time ang pwede na ako my experience on dashboarding. So thankfully, we have this ano report or topic. Okay, we will be able to, or we're able to study dashboarding. So this is actually the beauty of dashboarding. So we can use dashboarding based on ASA. So we can use this in research if we wanted to um, show some data nga kinahanglan siya in labi na labi na og large amount of data. So it would be easier for us to locate and answer queries with the use of dashboard. Okay, so let us check, since we are expecting interactive man ang atong dashboard because of pivot tables. Okay, so let us check. Okay, so this chart here, profit by country and cookie type. Okay, we will try. Let me try. So let us select India. Okay, it should be India lang ang makita diri if we are going to choose India. So everything about India, there is a profit and country and cookie type. So dapat ang India lang. So if we're going to select Philippines, so it's Philippines only and United Kingdom. So what will happen with these two charts? Oh, na may duha ka charts diri so dili siya mo change kung atong i-select ang tagsa-tagsa ka country. For example, ngari okay? India. Okay, it is only the profit by country and cookie type na chart. So, to make this more interactive, niya, appeal po ni siya og ma-change whenever we select any country here. So, all we have to do is to get connectors. Okay, ato siya pangitanog connection. So, para ma-build ang connection ana nila tulo, so right click and then report connection. So, let us check the tables of profit by month and unit sold per month para connected na sila tulo. Okay, so whenever we have to choose one country here on the slicer, for example, the United Kingdom, so all the charts will show about the United Kingdom. Okay, so dili na siya mawala. So Malaysia, for example, okay, Malaysia. So mailhan man na nato kay changing man na siya whenever we select countries or select country. Okay, ana siya. So what if gusto na pud ka makita ang overall nga countries, the profit by this chart tanan and with all the countries. So all you have to do is to select all. So ato na siyang i-drag down. Okay, makita na pud siya tanan. Okay, sa ana siya. So how about the slicer of product? Kani siya. Okay, so we will choose oatmeal raisin. Okay. So makita po nato ang profit by country and cookie type sa profit. Sa oatmeal raisin. So pareha gyapon diri as sa first, the slicer sa country. Okay, so dili gyapon ma-change ang duha ka chart. So again, we will be doing what we have done in the slicer of countries. So let us report connections and check all the tables from profit by month to units sold per month to have their connections. Okay, so we can have now, or we can view now the three charts. Okay, as we select on the different products. So, yung ano na siya. Okay, so kung gusto na po na ito makita ang tanan, so we just have to select all the products. And then, we have now an interactive dashboard. Okay, so since okay na ta siya tan-awon, no, pero Excel gihapon siya kitaon because of the grid lines. So we'll just have to remove the grid lines. Okay, select na nato dinhi and then select view and then uncheck the grid lines and then the headings. Okay, to look more realistic. Okay, ano na siya. Now we have our dashboard. Okay, na tayo dashboard. Pwede rin nato siya ma-adjust. Okay. Na tayo dashboard. Okay, since this dashboard is interactive man. Okay, what will happen if we're going to add another data or new data? So what will happen kung mag-add na pud ta og data nga lain? So all you have to do is to put your new data here. Ngari sa new data. Okay, another sheet. For example lang na siya pero wala tay new data karon. So ngari lang ka maghimo lang gihapon ka og lain nga sheet. Okay, you just rename it with new data and then assuming na na siya data din tanan, all you have to do is to copy everything. You just have to copy everything sa new data and then imo lang siyang i-paste. Okay. Up to the last. Isumpay lang nimo diri and then paste here. And after nimo og paste, okay, for example, okay, we'll just have data bag-o. Okay, for example, 5 lang ta. Okay, we'll just copy this and paste this in new data. Okay, here. Okay, let's change the date to 2021 to make it more realistic para makita jud nato kung na ba siya changes or mo update ba gyud siya. Okay. So let's add this data, copy and then paste to data here. Ato lang isumpay dire sa kinalasan and then paste. Okay. And then after that ato lang siya okay, let's go to our dashboard. Okay, select lang nato siya and then from the pivot chart tools, analyze and then click refresh and then select refresh all. Tanawon lang nato kung nabay changes. Okay, nagili ay siya changes. Okay, so from here, where? Na siya changes. Okay, na siya changes. Okay. Though dili ing ana kadako ang changes niya kay gamay ra man gud ang atong uh, data. We only have few new data, so dili siya kaayo makit-an ang effect niya. But at least we have seen the there is really changes sa profit. So I hope you learned something from our discussion, about pivot tables. So thank you so much and good day.